I think it's crazy because I watched the Runaways and it made me cry. It made me get this pit in my stomach. When they went on tour, I was like, I'm going to go on tour. But I didn't know how.
You knew that just from watching that movie.
I knew that the minute I saw the movie. I said, I'm going to go on tour. I want to start a band. Like, I was like, I want to start a band. It was a weird feeling. It was like a sixth sense type of thing. Like, something in me was like twitching. Like, wait, I can do this.
So in a way, maybe the Runaways inspired you to do music.
They for sure did. Certain things in my life, I feel like have low-key happened. And I feel like I probably wouldn't have reacted to them in the way that I did if I hadn't seen that movie. And if I hadn't seen what they went through. And I think it's crazy that movies can do that.
Welcome back to Spin Magazine's Lip Service. I'm with the one and only Rico Nasty. Hey.
Hi.
How's it going? Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
This is a big week for you. It's like the week of Rico. Your album's coming out in like 2 weeks, right? There's a big rollout. I think like every day of the week, there's something else going on. There's like a post your outfit. Literally. And ends up with your birthday, which is awesome.
Yes. My fans do them every year.
That's awesome.
Since Rico Nasty has existed.
You have a lot of history with New York, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, tell me about it. Because I think you were born in Maryland or you were born here?
Born in D.C.
Born in D.C., okay.
Born at the Washington Hospital. And then I lived like in Maryland and Virginia. And I spent a lot of summers here because my mom, she's from here. And so my whole side of the family is from like out here. And I would like, spend the summers, go to block parties, love New York. I would shop. My mom's from Brooklyn, so Knickerbocker was like, I would always go there as a kid. I would shop at Pretty Girl.
Yeah.
If anybody, is that store still a thing?
I don't know.
It was like Rainbow, but like, I don't know, the Knickerbocker version. But they had it like multiple stores and stuff, but I liked Pretty Girl.
But do you feel like a special connection to New York just because you spent some time here growing up?
Yeah, I have a lot of like early childhood memories and like a couple of birthdays that I spent here. Yeah, I love New York.
What are some of those early childhood memories in New York?
Definitely block parties.
Yeah.
I remember doing like just being a kid and we would always be out at the block parties, down the street, the park, the ices. My cousin played baseball.
Amazing.
So going to the baseball games with my grandma and literally pizza.
I feel like block parties are not so much a thing anymore. Maybe they still have them, but I don't hear about them as much.
Yeah, I feel like they're not really a thing. I mean, like people might do them as like branded as a block party, which is kind of crazy because like they were just like a natural thing.
And the amazing thing about New York is sometimes people just turn up like Lorde just played in like the park the other day.
Yeah.
So.
Or like, oh my gosh, I used to do, my mom took me to the Puerto Rican Day Parade a couple of times.
Amazing.
So that was fun.
That's awesome.
Good food.
Well, you have this exciting, amazing new record that just came out on Fueled By Ramen, which is interesting because it's a rock label too. Yeah. But I know they let you do your thing and stay very true to who you are. I know that you changed your whole team, I think, right before this record was coming out. So we have so much to get into. We have the TV show to talk about too. But take me back to the beginning, Rico. A lot of work. Take me back to the beginning, like how you grew up. I think your dad still plays music, right?
He does. He still does do music. I just did a show at VCU, and while I was there, he's literally just like playing me music that he made.
So he's still rapping?
Yeah, he's still rapping.
Awesome. Does he put out records?
He does.
He does.
I'm not telling.
Can we go look it up? And your mom's pretty religious, right?
Yeah, she's still cool though. Yeah. She's not like, I hate the word religious because I feel like it makes people seem a type of way. My mom she's chill.
Yeah.
She's chill. I love her.
Do you think was there ever any pushback from her in terms of what you were doing and getting into stuff early on?
Yeah, but I mean, I have, my son is about to be 10 this year. And so I would probably react the same way to the stuff that I was doing as a kid.
Now, if your son wanted to get into, music.
I'd be like, why?
Why?
Like, why do you want to do this?
Because it's so fascinating. You were actually freestyling at like such an early age at like, I think 5, which is pretty unheard of.
Yeah. I still remember the rap that I would.
Well, can we hear it? I'd love to hear it.
It's funny. It's okay. So my real name is Maria Cecilia. So me and my dad would go back and forth and I would say, my name is MC in the place to be. And I'm rocking the mic with my dad, B.
Amazing.
Or yo, or whatever I would say at the end. And like, that was my part. My dad say, do your part. That's the part I'm doing. Any beat. And Yeah, I used to freestyle a lot with him in the studio.
Because I figure when you're that age, I heard you talk about it, but like, you're freestyling about like cereal and like
Of
pickles and
course.
like things like that,
Yeah,
right?
I'm freestyling about my brats and my Barbies. And what else would I rap about? How cool my mom was. I would just be talking my shit.
Yeah. What was sort of your like first musical memory that you remember thinking to yourself, I think that I could do this for a living. Like this is something that it really connected with you early on.
I wouldn't say it's like a something that made me feel like I could do music, but it was something that I noticed was a talent, and that was my memory. At a very young age, I was able to like remember full songs. I was able to like I just had a great memory with poetry. My grandma would actually make me get up and perform the Langston Hughes poem Crystal Stairs on
Amazing.
Sundays at church. So I had great memory. Like I was like token child type shit. Like if you already know like how it is when your little cousin knows something crazy and grandma's like, bro, look at my grandbaby. So that's how my grandma was with me. And then I feel like it was the Jill Scott song, Let's Take a Long Walk. That was the first song that I heard it in the car several times. And then I just learned it so fast. I remember my dad and my mom being like, you know the whole song? Still to this day, I know that song.
How old were you at that point?
Probably like 5 or 6.
5 or 6. But I mean, at that, because you're so young, obviously you
Yeah.
don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life at that age. But at a certain point, maybe when you're in your teens, it just connected with you because you were doing like talent shows and all kinds of stuff
I
early on,
was
right?
doing talent shows. And so I went to boarding school throughout my like middle school stuff. And while I was there, I had like a I don't want to call her like a guidance counselor, but obviously you have to have someone that watches over the children because we're in middle school at a fucking boarding school. Let's
Yeah.
just reiterate that. So you can imagine the crazy stuff that's going on. We have a girls' dorm and a boys' dorm. There's fights. There's like, it was literally insane. But you have like a house mom who she's like in charge of you guys. And, she was so cool. And she did poetry. And she was like, you should try to write poetry. And we were learning about like Edgar Allan Poe because I went to boarding school in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So we were learning about Edgar Allan Poe and The Raven. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. I love this. It's so scary. It's so eerie. And everybody else was like, how do you even know what this means? And I was like, I don't know. It just makes me feel away. So then I started writing poetry and stuff.
I read somewhere that you got, because I actually went on this thing called a teen tour years ago and I got kicked off for smoking weed. I don't even smoke weed, which is ironic.
Oh my God.
But
so how'd you get kicked off, you liar?
I mean, I tried it when I was like...
Oh, you tried it and you got kicked off?
Yeah, and then they caught me, whatever.
So you did do it?
I did. I don't do it anymore. I haven't done it.
fifth.
Yeah, I haven't done it in like years. But is it possible that you got kicked out of school because of that early on?
No, that's super possible. That definitely happened.
Right.
That's not a rumor. I got expelled.
Expelled. And what happened? You were just,
So it was a boarding school. So we would leave on the weekends and my friend was like, I got weed. And I was like, okay, let's smoke. So we smoked and then we got back on the bus to go to school. So technically wasn't on school grounds. It was like on a bus on the way to school.
Right.
But like the bus aide or whatever was like, y'all were just smoking and we're just on the bus like being kids. And not me, of course, but the other kids was like, yeah, we just smoked. Of course we did. So I was just like, oh my God.
Don't say
Not
that.
in that moment. I didn't think anything was going to happen. The bus aide was being very chill about it. Snakes in the grass.
Right.
She was like super chill. She's like, oh yeah, you guys high? We're like, yeah, we're high. They're like, oh, okay. We get back to school and they're like, call us all. We all like unpack our bags and get to our dorm and then they call us all downstairs. The roundabout. And they're like, who's gonna snitch? And someone did snitch. And it was a bitch named Brenda.
Where's Brenda now?
I don't know where Brenda is, but I'm happy that Brenda did what she did because then I would have not been a rapper.
Yeah.
So shout out to Brenda for snitching.
And is the house mom at some point, did she get involved in that? Because you said there was like a house mom.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
She was, everyone's disappointed.
Yeah.
You're smoking weed. There's nothing you say when you're disappointed. She's like, you're suspended. And then my suspension turned into expulsion. And I don't know, like it's so fucked. My mom was like really sad about it, but I wasn't. I was like so happy, but I couldn't show that I was happy because.
But you get expelled, and then you said to your parents, obviously not that long after, like, I think I want to do music for a living here.
Oh no, I hid it.
You hid it?
I hid it, yeah. No.
So you were performing and just hiding the whole thing from your parents.
Oh no, not performing at all. Okay, so I got expelled my 9th grade year. So then I went to public school. And when I was in public school, I had like a group of friends. And then in 10th grade is when I My mom found out I was making music because I skipped school. I skipped school for like 2 weeks working on a fucking mixtape, which is just crazy. Like, what?
Like, where's Rico?
Not skipping all school, but after lunch, I was not coming back.
And how did they find out that you weren't going? They just get a call from the school and they said, by the way,
yeah,
Rico's
my
not.
teacher, she called and she was like, Maria has not been here for 2 weeks. So you need to figure out what she's been doing and you let us know. How can we help? All blah, blah, blah. And then my mom was like, what have you been doing? And she takes my phone and I'm like, you can check. There's nothing but music on there. And my mom checked it and I had like songs and like I had the whole mixtape. I had the cover. My mom was just like, what are you doing? Like, you're in the 10th grade, go to school. What are you doing? And I'm like, no.
You're like, I made a whole album last week.
I'm
so
Rico
what have you been
Nasty.
doing? Right? Is that how you came up with the persona just during that week or two?
Rico Nasty was just my Instagram name.
And where did it come from? Like, how did the name come about?
My Instagram at first was so embarrassing. It was like Nailbog696. So I was like,
Nailbog,
which is,
Nailbog.
Guys, this is bad. It was Nailbog696, which is goblin backwards.
Ah, okay. I was like, what's Nailbog?
Tyler, the Creator fan. 2008. Ooh. Hell yeah. So that was my name. And then everything back then was all about like, how can we get people to, it's like clickbait, but at a minor scale.
Yeah.
So like, how can we come up with the most outrageous name and make people be like, who is that? And I was like, Rico Nasty. That's like a funny name. And people were kind of already calling me Puerto Rico because I had like a lanyard. Like I said, I used to go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade with my mom. So I had like a lanyard that I would wear to school and it was the Puerto Rican flag. So again, I was new to this school and they would just be like, oh, that's Puerto Rico. And, you know, that just came like it was a thing. Oh, that's Puerto Rico. And then I would be like, guys, I don't even speak Spanish.
I just like the name.
Like, my mom's Puerto Rican. I don't speak Spanish, though. So, I don't know if I'm Puerto Rico, guys. I don't know. I feel lost. But it was funny as hell. They were, like, super chill about it. And then, you know, one day someone's like, Rico Nasty.
And that was you.
Light bulb. I said, oh, I love that name. It's so masculine and sexy.
It's great. But what were you listening besides Jill Scott? We know you have so many diverse influences from Rihanna to Avril Lavigne to so much. But what were you first getting into after Jill Scott, obviously?
Okay. After Jill Scott, I was in my Britney Spears era. I mean, I was a kid.
Right.
So I
of course.
Britney and I loved the Spice Girls. And I loved India Ari.
Mm.
And I loved Amy Winehouse, because my mom would listen to Amy Winehouse. So, like, I knew her voice, but I didn't know her name until I was, like, 12, 13. I was like, okay, this is my bitch. I love her.
Yeah.
But, and my dad listened to so much hip-hop. It's like, please. I'm like, Dad, what are all that? Like, my dad knew so much hip-hop, and he had, like, the big-ass CD thingy with so many CDs, and then he had one of his own with his own CDs.
Right.
And my dad, like, I feel like my dad had fans. Like he
What's his music like?
That's such a good question. My dad raps about anything. He raps about any and everything, and I low-key love it because how do I say this? I'm a big fan of Andre 3000, and I've seen Andre 3000 say that he feels like he got to a certain point where he doesn't know what to talk about because of his age. And I've seen that and I went straight to my dad because I'm like, Dad, how are you finding stuff to talk about still now?
What does he talk about? Parenthood or?
Yeah, he'll talk about me. He'll talk about his life. He'll talk about his relationships. He'll talk about some hood shit because my dad is like, he's not a square. Like, he definitely grew up like in the streets a little bit. So he'll rap about that. I don't know. Like, he just raps about everything. And I think it's inspiring because, like, if I told my dad to rap about a specific subject, I feel like he could.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just so cool. Like, he's always inspired.
But it's true. You have a lot more angst when you're younger, right? Then you get older and you have different problems.
Yeah. And I low-key I kind of felt in that time what Andre 3000 was talking about. I felt low-key like that. I was like, wait, I'm kind of reaching a point where the ignorance is wearing off. And I'm like so aware of everything now that it's like, you're too aware. You're too aware. Now you feel like you have a responsibility to say something, and then you're watching all your peers not say anything. So you're like, wait, am I spending too much time trying to figure out what I'm going to say? Should I just say anything? But I don't know, like music goes both ways. But I still am I'm a huge fan of Andre 3000, and I listened to that Flute album. I don't care what niggas got to say about that.
Great record. Yeah, you feel like you have the angst now that you did back in the day because it changes, right? And your whole persona changes the older you get.
It changes, but it like still there.
Yeah,
because I feel like me getting expelled, hating authority. I feel like I'm still like that. I feel like I still have issues sometimes respecting authority and understanding when to listen and not speak. And like understanding like sometimes I need to learn and not like just go off.
Yeah.
I feel like it's still there. It's just a little bit matured.
And when did you learn about, obviously you have this incredible connection with Rihanna and even Joan Jett, right? So were those kind of your role models growing up and people that you, because Joan Jett I think came a little bit later from Shrek, which is interesting how you discovered her, right? But talk to me about your connection with artists like that.
Well, I feel like Joan Jett was like, she was like a sneaky discovery because I discovered her from Shrek, but then I didn't know who she was until like I got older. And then what really made me feel like I was inspired by her was the Runaways movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy because I watched the Runaways. I think it's crazy because I watched the Runaways and it made me cry. It made me get this pit in my stomach. When they went on tour, I was like, I'm gonna go on tour. But I didn't know how.
You knew that just from watching that movie.
I knew that the minute I saw the movie. I said, I'm gonna go on tour. I'm going to. It's gonna be somebody's tour. I wanna start a band. Like I was like, I want to start a band. I don't know. It was a weird feeling. It was like a sixth sense type of thing. Like something in me was like twitching, like, wait, I can do this. She did this. But then it was like the doubt comes in and it's like, bro, this is fucking 80s.
So in a way, maybe the Runaways inspired you to do music.
No, they for sure did. And it's kind of crazy because even in that movie and then like certain things in my life I feel like have low-key happened and I feel like I probably wouldn't have reacted to them in the way that I did if I hadn't seen that movie and if I hadn't seen what they went through. And I think it's crazy that movies can do that, honestly. I think it's really weird.
And talk about a crazy story. Kim Fowley, I don't know if you remember the movie, but he was the one that was like writing the songs. And it's really, they had faced a lot of adversity early on. So also there's an incredible story of persistence and hope and how they made it after all that, you know?
Persistence, hope, and style.
Yeah.
Style was like my favorite thing about Joan Jett because in the time where she talks about in the movie, everyone is doing this prissy Barbie doll shit, this pinup girl bullshit. And she comes in with her leather jacket and her black hair and her black liner and she's sounding like the guys. And she's holding her weight up against the guys. And it's like, during that time, it was like unheard of.
Exactly.
And she got a lot of flack for it until she didn't. And now, you know, if you're ever watching anything, there's probably a Joan Jett record in there. And they probably couldn't even get the real version. They got some other bitch singing it over. Like, she's too, like, bro, I love her. I love her so much.
She's still great.
She's still great.
Yeah.
She's still great. I want to see her live so bad.
She's amazing.
I would literally, like, that's like the last of my Pokemon that I need to collect, honestly.
I love that. So talk to me about that happened. And then obviously about 2014, you start making music and mixtapes. And talk to me about your journey into that. And obviously early on, you didn't really need to make records. It was all about mixtapes for you.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that discovery process and getting early into the mixtape phase of your life.
Well, I feel like mixtapes were always like something I saw people do very easily, very fast. So it never seemed like an unattainable thing. I think my biggest thing was like, where am I posting this? So thank God that there was a SoundCloud thing happening and thank God that there was a Spinrilla at the time. And like, it was just so many places to post music outside of just YouTube. And again, like YouTube would have been good, but I don't have a video. Like I'm not having anybody do videos or anything like that because I'm still in high school.
Yeah.
So, I feel like the first time I ever made a mixtape, it took 2 weeks. And then anger management took 1 week. And that's like the people love it. And they say it's critically acclaimed,
Definitely.
whatever. So
what was your musical discovery process like back then during when you were making those mixtapes? Was it your dad's music? Was it fun? Because you're right, like SoundCloud and all these
like
things.
how did I find my voice?
Yeah, how did you find your voice? And also, how did you discover music at that point? Because there were so many ways to find music these days.
YouTube and like, I mean, there was still MTV Jams.
Yeah.
And there was still VH1. So like you're watching the classics. My aunt, she used to watch music videos nonstop. She also taught me how to paint my toenails and my nails.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
What do you think about the role of MTV back in the day versus now, and YouTube and videos, right? Because it's taken on such a different meaning now. Back in the day, like, you know, you had to discover music through things like MTV and VH1 and like you mentioned, but now it's a whole different world.
Yeah. I found out about Tyler the Creator through that. I was literally sleeping and then Yonkers came on TV and I was like, who the fuck? Not even who the fuck. I remember seeing it and being like feeling like I found out about Tyler through YouTube and through like friends. And I remember like watching his vlogs and I remember when Yonkers, I guess, made it to TV. And I remember watching his other shit and being like, feeling like he was my friend or something. I was like, oh my God, my friend is on. And it was like, I'd never met this man in my life. So it was like, that was like I guess like my first thing with like, I want to say stan culture, but I don't know. I feel like I found my voice just from trying. I'm not going to sit here and say I've sounded the same since I started making music. Like, I feel like I sounded completely different when I started making music because I didn't really know who I was or like who I wanted to be or if it was going to be anything. So it's kind of like playing around a little bit. Yeah.
Did you ever think you'd go on to collaborate with all these people that you used to listen to? Because you've collaborated with so many people, right? We can get into the list, but it's everyone. But did you think that you'd end up working with a lot of these people? No.
And even like mentioning Runaways again, life is fucking weird sometimes because who else is in that movie? Dakota Fanning.
Right.
And
Elle Fanning.
The show with
we're gonna talk about
and
that.
I just like how I don't know, bro. Like that type of shit to me is just like
serendipitous.
Like I guess I don't know. Like sometimes I get not emotional, but I just be like thinking about God. Like, whoa, you were listening too much to the point. I'm like, bro, you were listening to everything that ever made my heart be like skip a beat or feel a type of way about. He's like listened to and. Low key is like giving me those opportunities.
Yeah, and you put out these mixtapes, and when did you realize it was connecting with an audience for you?
Sugar Trap. Yeah.
So that was the time when you said to yourself, you know, I think this is going to be my thing. I'm going to do this for a living, and that's it, right?
I still had some doubts. I mean, I was doing features for like $100, so I don't know how much of a career I was going to make out of that. I was doing Sweet 16s. I was just doing it.
So people would pay you just to come to a Sweet 16 and sing a song, or would they hire you to sing like other people's songs?
They would pay me to come and do my 3 songs.
All right, okay.
I had 3 songs that they loved, and they would come, and I would come and do the Sweet 16s, and damn, it's actually crazy. I would do like high school shows, like what are those? The homecomings and stuff like that.
Never second guessing yourself that this is going to be your path. Or you always kind of knew. You just said, you know, because it's funny. You have artists on all the time, and we talk about it. I had a band on the other day, Måneskin, and they were playing restaurants, right, in Italy, and now they're the biggest band in the world from Italy, right? But you never second guessed yourself early on. You just knew.
That's such a good question. Second guess, no. Wonder how long until it happened. Yes, I wondered every day. I said, am I doing what I mean, obviously it was weird. I felt like I was doing what I needed to do because everything was just making its way for me to do what I needed to do. But I did have a like feeling like, all right, when's the next level?
Well, I guess that level is when you met Kenny Beats, right? How'd you meet Kenny Beats?
Yeah. Oh my God. I feel like I met Kenny from Twitter.
Just at that point, you're just DM, you know, people are just tweeting each other or whatever, and you're like,
no, he DM'd me. They always DM me.
Do you look at all those, or is it hard to kind of, are you getting so much noise that you just don't?
I do look at my DMs.
So he said, hey, I like your stuff. Let's get together. Let's work on some music.
Yeah, he's actually trying to give me some weed.
Okay. So it wasn't for music. It was to give you weed.
It was to give me weed. He was doing beats for Hood Rich Pablo Juan.
He's like, hey, I have some weed for you? Or is it?
I got some weed and I got a couple beats I think you might like. I said, okay.
So there was a music element to it.
Somewhat.
And you get together with him besides the weed.
Get together with him and I'm like.
You just knew right away it was.
No, not at all.
No.
He gets there and I said, wait. I was like, you're white? I didn't know he was white. Because obviously he was like a producer and he worked with Which You Probably Want. And he was like, in Atlanta and all this other shit. I'm like, I didn't know you were going to be this. Okay, cool. Well, what do you have? And then he was like, I have a bunch of shit. And he was playing me a lot of like bubblegum, bubbly shit. That was like what I was doing. I was doing the sugar trap stuff. But I was like, I'm
not feeling this.
I feel like you know more than what you're showing me. That's exactly how I felt when I met him. I was like, you can do more than this. Like, you're just doing this because it's trendy right now. And I was like, you know about rock music, don't you? Okay, so give me some guitars. He was like, what kind of guitars? Acoustic? I said, no. That real raw shit. He was like, what kind of guitars? And I'm like ones that make you be like the crazy ones. And he was so thrown off because, again, everything I was doing was pastel colors, pink. My, like, big song was, like, melodic as fuck. It's like, okay, you want to scream? And I'm like, yeah, I want to scream. And
had you already been listening to, like, Paramore and Avril Lavigne at that point?
Hell yeah, I'd already been listening to them. And I think it's so funny but that song in particular was, like, so funny. I made the song. I'm doing interviews. People are like, yeah, it has an NWA vibe to it. It has so many different vibes that they were saying. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. And then I had to obviously be a student to what I'm doing and listen to these songs. And I'm like, wow, this is weird. It does sound like that. It does have that energy, that angst. And I didn't even do that on purpose. I wasn't like purposefully inspired by it. It just like happened. And I think that's the coolest thing about like me and Kenny's stuff, because I feel like it resonates with a lot of things that have happened in hip hop and rock, but it's still its own thing.
Were there a lot of artists that you were looking up to at that point that were kind of merging genres like that? Because it wasn't very, there wasn't a lot of people that I know that were kind of merging and doing what you were doing.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only person that I really knew that was doing what I was doing and was, like, great at it and doing it very well was X. And then, obviously, like, whatever people have to say about that situation. But, yeah, he's, like, the only person I remember watching the shows and being like, I like this. This feels like a relief. Like, I feel like people getting their shit off their chest. And then I was like, girls don't really have that. Because we're so got to be in these leotards and be so pretty, pretty, pretty. We don't really have, like, a place where we can, like, break shit.
Yeah. I love the fact that you were even going into, like, mosh pits early on, from what I heard. You were going to some shows, and right? Were you jumping in the mosh pits at any point? I heard that you'd gone to,
well, I always, it's so funny. The first festival I ever went to was a festival that I performed at. So I didn't really, like, grow up going to shows. But, again, I was like 19 when I did my first festival. So
which one was it?
I think it was Rolling Loud.
Oh, amazing.
Definitely a Rolling Loud. Or
not a small festival to perform at as your first one.
Not a small one. Followed by Coachella.
Right. Like, here's 2 million people to start off with. And where did Primal Scream come into the Primal Scream therapy when you kind of, we spoke about screaming for a minute. Kind of talk to me about how you used Primal Scream therapy and kind of into, finding your voice.
That was a book that Kenny had. One of his homies had it in the studio and either had it in the studio or was like, this is what the album reminds me of. And then I did my due diligence on it and I read it and I was like, wait, this does feel like why I'm doing this. Then I read it more and I was like, at that point, I think we were like, when I say we finished it in 5 days, we were probably 3 days in. And then that's why you get songs like Sell Out or Again. And then we're just like, kind of like talking through the storm because that's what I learned from the book.
Do you ever worry about going on tour and screaming like that a lot? Because it's people don't realize that your voice is an instrument. It's your body, and if you do that every night, you don't take care of it. Before you know it, you can't sing for 5 days in a row. Yeah. But did that worry you at all? I guess you don't think about stuff like that when you're younger. And
I didn't think about.
You're just screaming, right?
At all.
Right.
And now I am thinking about it.
Yeah.
Now I have a Yeah, I have dietary restrictions. I got heartburn, acid reflux. I can't eat certain things if I'm gonna be singing or doing a show. And I don't know that I feel like I'd rather do that than be broke though. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna not eat red sauce. I don't care. That's like the number one thing. We keep talking about it because
Red
we're in New
sauce?
York and I want pizza so bad,
Yeah.
but I can't have red sauce. It's not good for your throat. It's acidic.
By the way, at the end, I was going to ask you your favorite spots, but I do want to know your favorite pizza spots because I'm huge. I mean, I know people know me; they know I'm like obsessed with pizza.
Really?
Do you have your top 5 like favorite pizza spots? Yeah, I mean, you don't.
Well, anywhere or
I don't
just.
know. I feel like this is something we need to talk
Do you ever go to
about.
Maryland?
I don't, but I know we got to talk about Maryland seafood at some because I
Please,
know.
no. There's this one spot in Maryland. It's the best pizza in the world.
Yeah, what's
and
it
it's
called?
Lido's.
Okay.
And I
Better
don't know if
than
it's
New
just
York?
Maryland. I don't need y'all to pop y'all shit like that. Y'all know it's literally called New York style pizza. Like y'all have your own style of pizza. People love New York pizza. I can never say Lido's is like that. Lido's is cut like little squares, thin crust, and it's really good. Like
it's amazing because people don't realize there's like 17 different varieties of pizza. There's like Detroit style, Chicago style.
Yeah.
So does Maryland have their own pizza style, or is that New York style? Is that what it is?
That's like there.
Yeah.
That's y'all's thing. We're gonna keep that up here. Yeah.
So when you come here, like pizza's not you're not like fixated on pizza like I am.
I can't have pizza anymore.
Okay.
It's crazy. I can't have pizza. I can't have lasagna. I can't have spaghetti.
That's because when you're singing, it could affect your voice, and then you have to take some breaks.
So I suffer from acid reflux.
Ah, okay.
So
right.
I'm gonna be burping.
No good. Well, let's talk about Smack a Bitch. It sort of helped redefine the rage rap movement. Talking about that song, how it came about, and kind of what it means now in your legacy.
I feel like that song is just like one of those ones where I don't know.
You don't know how it came about.
I don't know how it happened. I don't know.
Just happened.
How it's sitting at like something million views, like double digit million views.
1 billion views or whatever it was.
And yeah, I don't know. I just know that every time I think about that song, I just get really happy. Because I was like, trying to figure out who I was. And I feel like in that moment, I was like, okay, I feel like I know what my voice is. And if I never did that, I don't know if I would, again, be who I am today. I don't know what kind of music I would be making today. I don't know what I would be making music for. I don't know if my fan base would be the same. I don't know if, I just don't know anything low key. So when I think about it, I'm just like, happy that happened.
Yeah. Was it scary at all bringing in these rock elements and going against the grain, so to speak, right? Because people can look at it and say, what box does she fit in, right?
Yeah, what was scary is getting all the elements that you guys know thus far from my rock music via beat packs or someone playing something on a key. Like actually making a song like Rage or Trust Issues or, I mean, every song that I made with Kenny was on the computer. We weren't like playing the guitar.
Yeah.
And so I remember looking at that and being like, oh, I want live instruments. But again, like people are like, how you gonna what?
How you gonna do
I'm
it?
just like, no, like I feel like I need live instruments for real. And I don't think anybody really understood. I don't even think I understood what I was asking for or how to do it because I don't play any instruments. So then I remember getting into sessions, they have live instruments, and I'm like, I just feel lost. I feel like they're doing their thing. I'm doing my thing. I don't really know where I step in, where I fit in, how to give them critique. I don't really know music like that. And instead of like shying away from it, it's like you just sit in enough sessions that you build that confidence and you learn to trust that you do know what you're talking about because you wouldn't even be in here if you didn't.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what you're talking about or it's out of key, they'll tell you. And it's not like a bad thing. It's like a learning experience. And so yeah, on on Las Ruinas, I worked on a lot of the production with Ben 10K and Dane. Like I worked pretty much on every song. There's either like a sample of my voice on it or I don't know, like we literally cooked those beats up from scratch. But again, that's similar to what I was doing with Kenny, just more hands-on because Kenny knows what he's doing. So I didn't have the space to ask him besides for what I really wanted. The 3 main things. What are the 3 main sounds you want? In your kick, in your bass, and guitar. That was my shit when I first started. And then I learned so much about synths and like those modulars that they have, like they're all different sounds and just realizing, okay, this is this is kind of a whole world that we can get into. I got into EDM. I got into like electronic music. I started traveling, and my taste in what I wanted expanded crazy, and I just didn't know how to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
in what way? Like, what were you listening to at that point that changed for you? That kind of. Well, you mentioned EDM.
I was listening to EDM, so I was listening to like fucking Sophie, Alice Glass, fucking Charlie XCX, Dylan Brady,
And I feel like you went through a phase of like the
Boys
Smiths
Noise,
and
Skrillex.
right. Then you get like the Radiohead and the Smiths phase. You went through that
Yeah,
phase too, right?
I did, but that was like early. That was like obviously in high school when I was finding about rock music, but then it kind of resurfaced when I had experienced a taste of like fame, and then it was like, I understand the depression Smith is talking about. This is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I feel this. I mean, Last Night I Dreamt was a record that like I went through a breakup as a kid listening to, like, oh my God, sliding down the wall. I have no idea what this man's really talking about, but I just feel it
Yeah.
so much. Then I actually went through shit and I was like, okay, I'm in love. Now I feel it even more. Now I just hear it. Even like David Bowie and like, yeah, Death Cab for Cutie and Paramore and Avril was definitely my, like, I guess not Mount Rushmore, but like that was I grew up on them.
Yeah.
From like, 13 to probably like 18. I was like, those are my favorite rockers, low key.
And then
and
you end
Weezer.
up Weezer, great.
And
great band.
Weezer, how can I forget? And Weezer.
And you end up
Weezer.
meeting and working with some of these artists like we spoke about. It's like Avril Lavigne and Doechii and Paramore. I think Paramore actually even turned you on to like your new team in a way, right? So talk to me about working with some of those artists because you work with so many incredible collaborators.
Well, I feel like everyone is always different. Nobody's like ever the same. But I mean, I honestly don't know. Like, low-key, some of the shit just happens. Like, they be like, oh, I want to work with you. And it's like, what? And so Avril was like, we did a cover together. And then she's like, you're cool as fuck. Like, we should go to the studio. We go to the studio, we hang. And I'm like, wait, you're fired. Like, you're a real human. You're a person. And I think, like, all of the collabs that I do, the ones that are received well are always with people that I receive well, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like, if their vibe is good, the song's going to be good. And if their vibe's off, the song's going to be like a little bit off. I don't know what that is. But yeah, everybody amazing. Doechii, Doja. I mean, yeah, because we're mentioning a lot of like the Avrils and stuff being like a part of stuff. But yeah, in hip hop too, even Meg, like I've worked with like all of them, yeah. Love them.
Anybody surprise you creatively that you didn't think it would turn out the way it turned out? And you're like, wow, this is actually an incredible, dope collaboration.
No, because I'm not going to work with them if they're not fire.
But the collaboration itself, because you said if the vibe's not right sometimes.
Oh, like, am I ever nervous? Like, oh my God, is this person going to be weird?
It didn't come out the way you thought it would. Or...
Me and Doja didn't meet in person when we made the song. We met like online and we like sent it back and forth. So like we didn't get to like work together until we did the video. And then that's when I was like, oh, I fuck with her. She's cool.
Yeah.
And me and Doechii, it was the same thing. We didn't make the song in real life either. It's so funny though, because there's definitely a clip of us in the studio, but we were just acting like we made the song.
Really?
Sorry, Doechii. I told the secret. We just played it in the studio and danced to it around. So, I don't know. Like, I genuinely feel like I have to like their music in order for it to even get that far, though. Fuck, like, the personality is a bonus, but if I don't like your music, we're not going to get in the studio at all. That's not going to happen.
Is there anyone that you haven't collaborated with, like a Rihanna, that you're like, this would be my ultimate dream?
Oh, please. We're fucking, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're even laughing. Like, why would you mention that? She's not dropping any music.
I don't know.
We've
you never
been
know.
Starved. God. And if Rihanna drops, I mean...
She will. Eventually, there'll be music.
Stop. I don't even want to hear it unless it's coming from her mouth. They're all lies. But yeah, I would love to work with Rihanna. That's obviously, I mean, that would be probably the coolest thing to happen to me. That would probably be it.
Yeah.
Like, low-key, I'm happy it hasn't happened. Actually, she's not dropping. I'm sorry, I meant to tell you guys. She's not dropping music because she's waiting for me to like reach where I need to be so that our song will be where it needs to be. She's just waiting for me to grow artistically.
And then you'll DM each other.
And
that's
then
how
we already DM each other.
Okay.
Sorry, Rihanna. I'm telling them that you're on Instagram. Yeah, we DM each other.
That's funny. And talk to me about working with Boys Noize in 2024, because we spoke about EDM and really kind of how you got into that kind of music.
Well, Boys Noize was like, he's the first person that got me on a cruise, which is iconic. And then he got me like an A$AP Rocky song. So he's like, I guess we're like hand in hand with the real world with that. But he's just he's a cool dude. He's a very cool dude. And Boys Noize is always just down for whatever. And I just love him because he always plays me whatever he's listening to and inspiring him. And it be some like weird like funk or like techno funk, German, like I don't fucking know. It's all types of shit that I'm like Ratatouille. My ears just like go crazy. But
could you see yourself doing more in the EDM world?
Of course. I mean, I would love to work with I'd love to work with Charlie again. And I also love Arca a lot. I think Arca is very, very fucking talented. And I think like their beat selection is insane. I think like they can kind of, the way they blend Spanish music and electronic music is really, really cool. I also love their producer, Safety Trance. So yeah, Arca is top of my list. Arca and Charlie, for sure.
You mentioned Rocky for a minute. People don't realize how funny Rocky is. I know him for years, and I think he's one of the funniest guys I've ever met. You spend any time with him at all?
Yeah, we made our song in the studio.
Yeah.
So yeah, I met him and then I also have a song with A$AP Ferg.
Right. I love Ferg too. He's great. Yeah.
I'm A$AP as fuck, low-key. I'm A$AP Mob. You guys, you just got the new drop. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the new record. There's so much to get into. You mentioned for a while you kind of felt like pigeon-holed as Rico Nasty. So this record, which is dropping, I think by the time this comes out, it will already come out. But, you know, you felt like you needed to break away a little bit from Rico Nasty in a sense, right? Did you feel like people were sort of putting you in a box?
Yeah, they were putting me in a box. I put myself in a box. I just put myself in a box. Yeah, I put myself in a box. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm good at. This is what you guys know me for. And then it was like, you really want to do this forever? You don't want to grow? You're just going to be scared? Just going to sit here scared of trying something new? But a lot of my fear came from like, well, you already tried something new. So what, you going to try something new? Like, what are you going to do? And then I was like, well, me trying something new and it being all the way out there was just me being myself. And me having financial freedom. And I'm buying everything. I'm putting all the makeup I can buy on my face. And I'm buying every wig, every color, every shoe, everything. I don't care. Every glasses, every shade, every jacket. Yeah. I bought it all. And then I said, this is too bright. I don't like wearing this if I'm not on stage. And that's when I was like, wait, then that's not your real personality, sweetie. And then you have that battle of like, so who am I?
Is it really me?
Is it really me?
Yeah.
But it is really me. I just changed. And that's okay. It's not like I changed at my core. I just changed shit that I liked. But I saw a lot of stuff. So I feel like it's valid. Like, who's going to see a lot of stuff and stay the same?
Yeah. How does the process for this record change the way you make music versus your other stuff? Because obviously this record has something for everyone. You've got some hip hop, you've got some rap, you've got, obviously there's like emo songs on it, punk songs on it, it's everything. Yeah. So how do you feel like the process changed for you? Do you get in a room and write with musicians on this? Are you writing with producers? How does the process change for you?
Well, I definitely feel like first and foremost, the beginning of it was just making sure I didn't get burnt out. And making sure that I wasn't just like making a bunch of songs just to make them because I'm working on an album.
Right.
And so I just made a song every day with intention. If I felt like I was talking about nothing on the song, I was like, okay, I don't need to drop this. This isn't going anywhere. I don't need to put this out. And I just feel like I kind of focused more so on what I wanted to say versus what they wanted me to say. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
and you work with Ahmad Royal on this, on this record. Yes. So talk to me about that and kind of what he brought to the table.
Well, Ahmad was like, I don't know, he was like a silent killer at first because I feel like we were making songs and I was like, I don't know if he can do this, but I like him and I like his energy, but I don't know if be down to do this. And we get like records like Grave, we get records like Son of a Gun, and he was still able to keep that grit that I know my fans love from me. And yeah,
Were you a fan of his other stuff and the other records he had made?
I was.
Yeah.
I was. I liked his electronic stuff too. But I really just liked that. I mean, he was pretty skilled in all of the stuff that I liked. He has a metal punk background. He did some screamo stuff. He's done pop records. He's done dance records. He's done hip hop records.
So he brought a different element to the way you had recorded before. Was it kind of the same process?
A little same process, but oh my God, it felt so good having somebody in the studio say, Rico, that's not. I mean, like Kenny is the most blunt fucker I've ever met. He's going to literally be like, no, do this over. He's not going to say sorry. He's not going to let you like gather yourself and like, oh my God, that hurt my feelings. Like, if you're a puss, you can't work with Kenny. He's not for the weak. Like, he dead ass used to be like, nah, like, you need to come harder than that. You need that verse, you can beat that verse. And I became Rico Nasty after that. So a lot of people are kind of like working with me, kind of like, oh, she knows what she wants to say. And that must be the best that she has. And it's crazy, like, when you work with somebody who's like, they don't know you like that, but they immediately, that's not your best. And you kind of like question yourself a little bit like, how the fuck you gonna tell me what's my best? Like, this is my best. This is it. But then you go home thinking like, how could you think that's your best for? You got to keep working. And it felt good to have that relationship again. Like somebody who wasn't afraid of like testing me as an artist. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, that's the artist. Like they know what they're going for. Like they know what they're trying to say. But sometimes I know exactly what I want to say, but I just don't know how to say it. How crazy is that? My whole job is saying stuff. And I experience things and I don't know how to talk about it. But he would always be like, no, you wrote that hook. That hook makes me feel something. You need to write the verses. And you don't have to write them right now. This isn't the Guinness World Record book of who can write the fastest fucking verse. Live in it. Feel it. Listen to the hook in the bath and like relive some shit. And I think like the not sadder songs, but the more emotional songs, that's how they were made. Was like actually feeling them and not getting like an emotional feeling about being vulnerable and like rushing through the verses. Like, oh yeah, and then I was sad, but then I was happy. So I'm happy. I'm happy now. Like really being like, no, I'm going through it. I feel ways about shit. And I am okay now. But it did hurt me.
And a certain artist, if it doesn't come to them right away, they just forget about it because they think if the music doesn't come to you within the first 24 hours, I'm moving on. But you took it away, spent some time with it, whatever it is.
Drove to it,
take a bath, whatever it is. And then the music just comes to you later on, right?
Yeah.
Who do you play music for when you finish it? Do you play it for your son? Do you play it for your friends, your team?
Who do I play music for? Oh my God. You can ask my team right now. I'd be scared to send. And I'm like, not scared, but I'm like, you like that song? Okay, I hate it. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't really share I share my music with my dad.
Really? Well, that's a good person to, because obviously he's still making music.
Yeah. And I do share my music with my son. Not all of it, but some of it he's inevitably there for. And yeah, I mean, I do share my music with my team sometimes. Like when I know I like it, then I share it.
Yeah, you have
but
to
if
be
it's
sure.
not done, I'm not like, I don't want to share anything that's not done.
Yeah. The cover is acupuncture. I'm scared of needles. So I don't know how you feel about needles, but are you okay with needles? Do you like acupuncture? Because I think I'd be petrified to get 20 in my face like that. But obviously you did it. So, but was it painful? Did you kind of?
Well, I have like arms full of fucking tattoos.
Right. So I guess needles don't scare you whatsoever.
But it did scare me, it being still like that. Okay. So, and I think that's why that ties into the album name, because part of acupuncture is being still. And part of acupuncture is, I guess you're like your first time doing it. It is that, is this going to hurt? Am I going to bleed? Is this going to hurt? Am I going to bleed? How long does it have to be in there? What is this going to feel like? And that's kind of what it feels like going to a Rico Nasty show, low-key.
I got to go. I got to see a play.
Yeah, it's like, wait, am I going to get hurt? But I've learned that, I guess, like that experience, that soft, sweet spot of like pain, fear, pleasure, excitement to get it over with, excitement you did it, excitement you can go tell somebody, oh my God, I did this. You couldn't do that. Like it's like something about that kind of makes me be who I am today. And I feel like even in being myself in this new age that I'm in is like, it is scary. I am like scared. Is this going to hurt? I'm changing everything that I've known and loved. I feel like I'm seeing things for what they are. I'm learning my own boundaries and in return, losing a lot of friends. You're just growing a lot. You're constantly asking yourself, bro, is this going to hurt? Like, am I doing the right thing? Be still, be calm, listen, learn. And I mean, like, again, it's a therapeutic thing. So you do acupuncture and all of those questions subside because you quickly realize it does not hurt at all. It's actually meant to help you. And you realize, like, damn, you really hold yourself back with fear of what things are going to feel like when you don't have anyone to ask them what it felt like. Like, that shit'll keep you like living in a, well, I don't know how, for a long time, me too. I can't really ask my parents for advice financially. My parents have not seen the amount of money that I've made in my life in their entire lives. And that's sad to me. It's sad to me that I'll go places in the world and my parents have never been there. And they've been here longer than me. That's something to be thankful for, though. And that's something I needed to learn to like take it in. And I don't know, I don't know if people think about that shit, but sometimes, I mean, my mom's first time coming to California was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
Like the farthest she went was Germany in the army with my dad, but my mom almost had a heart attack driving in them damn mountains. I had her going through Laurel Canyon. My mom was terrified.
It's a twisty road.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But I'm sure you fly your parents places and you give back.
Hell yeah. Now I do. But it is weird though, like being young like that and experiencing things, and it's like they don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
What are your biggest fears? You mentioned some fear, right? What are your fears?
Oh my God, stop. I only have one fear.
Which is what?
Dying.
Really? Why are you afraid of dying? I mean, some people are afraid of it, some people accept it.
No. I feel like I have so much to do. Like, I don't want to. I want to just, I don't know. I'm working a lot. Yeah. Like, please, no.
Well,
like,
you're young. That's not in the cards for
But
you,
even like when I get older.
Yeah.
I want to see how this place ends up.
You know, it's interesting. There's all these people now that obviously they're whole. I don't know if you saw this documentary on Brian Johnson. He's the guy that like is working to prolong his life. So he takes supplements. And I always said to myself, you know, because I actually take his supplements now because I'm like, this guy's going to live to 150. But then he goes to bed at like 4 p.m. So I'm like, is that really living? You know,
Did you see the Black Mirror episode?
Yeah, I love Black Mirror. It's my favorite TV show ever.
This season, I don't want to spoil it, but
it's my favorite TV show ever.
She had to go to fuck to sleep. Yeah, he probably does have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I believe that.
So you're afraid of dying, I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not saying I want to be young forever. Yeah. I want to get old, but I want to like see how this shit ends up.
Yeah. Well, you got a lot of living to do.
Hell
still.
yeah, I
do. Let's dive into the record, Rico. Let's talk about Teethsucker. What's a Teethsucker?
Oh, literally that, what I just did. Sorry. Subconsciously, I do it all the time, but just like.
That's what it is.
Yeah. It's just a person who, there's like a certain nonchalance to everything they do. It's just like.
How'd you choose that to start the record out with? Great track, by the way. And On the Low is another great track.
Oh, I feel like I suck my teeth a lot. I suck my teeth a lot. I'm always sucking my teeth at something. If I get told no, I'm like, what do you mean no? That can be yes. We just got to figure out how. How can we make this a yes? But Teethsucker just came from like, I guess, shout out to the haters. Definitely came from the naysayers. And the people who are just like, Rico Nasty. I feel like, no. Yeah. We don't care. And that's what the whole song is about. Not caring. Like kind of an ode to what I'm known for. They love the guitars.
Old
Love
school
the
Rico
energy.
Nasty, yeah. We talked about social media for a minute, but I was talking to you about it, like if you read the comments, and I know people say you deleted your Instagram, you just got a Finsta from what I understand, right?
Yes, they're so funny with that. They're like, she deleted her Instagram. I never deleted my Instagram. My Instagram's always there. I just never posted.
Right.
Because y'all be stealing. Y'all stole so many looks. I be like, is that me? Fuck, like this shit weird. So yeah, I didn't post on there for a long time and I don't care. I do have offense. And that's what's crazy because, yeah, artists are like, oh, I get off Instagram. I ain't not on Instagram. You have a Finsta. You're a fucking liar.
Everyone has one.
We love attention. We're artists.
I'd ask you your
have a
Finsta name, but then I'd be giving it away. It sounds like it could be something weird
You guys
too, right?
will never, and you'll never guess what it is.
I don't know what it is. Can I guess? Maybe
Go
I
ahead.
could guess.
I'll give you 3 guesses.
What was it? Anything to do with the Goblin one from
Nope.
back in the day? No. Maybe it's your name backwards?
Nope.
No. I give up. I don't know. You won't tell me.
Well, when they find out, they're going to be like, she's fucking insane. I don't care though. So yeah, if you're an artist, yeah, don't read the comments. Make offense. Oh my God.
Do you have a love-hate relationship with social media?
Yeah, I did. And I had a moment.
And what happened? You wanted to clap back at someone?
I definitely feel like if I say this, I might incriminate myself. So I can't tell what happened because then I might tell my Finsta name. I feel like they'll find
maybe
it.
you can say with leaving the name out because that's what we want to know.
Basically, yeah. If you ever say something bad about Rico Nasty and you see a page, it's like 0 followers. It's like,
that's you.
Rico Nasty is the best. You're just being mean. That's me.
Or it could be me.
That's mean. Yeah, I'm my biggest fan sometimes.
Yeah, I love that. Listen, if you're not your own fan, who's going to be your own fan?
Yeah.
Right?
And I feel like who was it, the basketball player that did that?
I don't know. But I'm sure everyone has one, like you said. So it's just a question of if people discover it, right? It could be.
Yeah, it was Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant is from fucking the DMV.
Right.
We are not about to just take shit. Like, you're not about to just talk shit about me, bro. Bro, and I hate, oh my God, I hate being like, I guess, a person, a famous person, whatever that means. Because they think we don't have feelings. And they be like, yo, you have a bigger platform, so you can't respond. And I'm like, bro, but this hurt my feelings. I'm going to get on my other page and I'm going to respond. And I don't care. And I don't have no shame in that. I don't care. Any real person will admit to it. It's not like I'm like trolling people being mean. I'm just like, you're being mean. Rico Nasty did not say that. It's so funny. I love it though. I love being like, Rico Nasty is my favorite.
Especially on TikTok, I never understood the need of people just to say something weird to me and then get off. Like, where does that come from, right? People have this desire just to, most of the stuff I always see is pretty positive, but then you always have these people that like.
I've never left a mean comment.
Well, I'm sure you did, and I don't, obviously.
But but I mean, like, even as a child.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
I said some crazy shit on Facebook, but.
That's Facebook.
Who did it? All right. But I don't think I was like mean, like going and commenting on other people's stuff or like.
You gotta have some pent up frustration to do that, right?
Mean. I just don't remember being mean.
Too bad. But we should talk about On the Low because I feel like that's the song of the summer. That could be the anthem of the summer. So talk to me about how great that song is and that it could be literally, I think, the song of the summer.
Thank you.
The banger, right?
On the Low is actually that's one of my favorite songs that's on the project too. I love her. And I don't know, I just feel like she does have summer energy to her and it's a very, very confident, dancey with a very pop hook, which it again, if you listen to my other music, it just feels like I picked the best parts out and refined them. And that's why I love this song because it reminds me of like a record that I did years ago called like Rojo. But like hotter, sexier, cooler.
It's a great, great track. And there's a lot of music on this record like Crash that sees you going into new territory, even like emo territory, right?
Yes.
So one of my favorite tracks on the record. What was the story behind Crash?
So Crash is, I don't know. I feel like if you listen to the song, the story is so, I guess it's kind of obvious. You're talking about somebody, I'm acknowledging my fuck ups. I guess that's the best way to put it. Acknowledging like, oh, okay, I might not be the good guy all the time. And do you still love me though? And you probably don't love me. So I'll be here for as long as you do and then I'll just get out of your way. And I think that idea comes from people being like, oh, like I feel like it's so stupid in e-girl terms, but like a manic pixie girl, which is like I'm like a fantasy until I'm not, until like I'm a real person, and then it's like
the reality sets in.
The reality sets in,
Yeah.
and the lifestyle sets in, and it's like this isn't really a tangible person, and so inevitably I get pushed away because people think I'm out of reach, but I love love and I want to be in love. So
it's a real story based on your personal relationships.
yeah, it is.
I think everyone's gone through something like that at some point in their life.
Yeah. It's kind of like that awkward feeling of
Yeah.
like, do you love me up? Okay, all right, bye. Yeah.
Well, this is a big year for you. You just literally flew here because you were filming your new TV show, which I think it's coming out next year, right?
Yeah.
It's on actually A24 is like the hottest company in the world.
Hell yeah.
So it's Apple, A24. Margo's got money troubles. And you're in this with like some incredible actors, right? Elle Fanning, Nicole Kidman, Michelle Pfeiffer. This is like your first major acting gig. How did this come about? It's pretty incredible.
I went on auditions just like everybody else.
That's
and
it.
I had to I read the book and I got into the character mode and I learned about like method acting on YouTube. And I took like an acting lesson before my first like thing. But
when you're in there, did they look at, is it like Rico Nasty, the artist? Or you're just like, hey, you're just an actor like everyone else?
Oh, no, I'm just an actor like everyone else.
Right.
They don't make
anything. They don't treat you
No,
differently.
they don't
like
treat
that.
me differently or anything like that. And I think that makes you do the job even better. Because there's still a sense of like, you have to earn this.
Yeah.
Just because you get the role doesn't mean you'll get others. So you just have to like do a really good job. And everyone there is just like, they want you to do a good job. So I don't think that there's like ego in the room or too much of the praise of like, oh, it's an artist on set, because I think that might make the shit awkward. And I love that. I love that I don't get treated like Rico Nasty. I'm happy that they treat me regular because my favorite thing to do is go to Crafty. I love Crafty.
Craft services.
Yeah, they always have peanut butter jelly sandwiches and like snacks and stuff.
How'd you get the role? I mean, it's a pretty big role for your first acting experience, right? Because you're working with like some of the biggest actors in the world. So
I got the role. It came through my email from my agent and from my booking agent, and I was just like, of course I want to do this. This is not it's not like I was like, oh yeah, give me some acting stuff. I just woke up and wanted to do this.
Right.
I like auditioned for shit before. I did like tapings and stuff before. Never got it. But I also feel like I didn't really study my roles the way that I did this one. This one, I was like A24. I watched a couple of shows. I did my due diligence outside of Euphoria and all of their well-known stuff. Like I pretty much watched all of the series that they've produced. And obviously Nicole Kidman is like a part of a lot of those series. So I remember just being like, okay, so this is going to be this type of thing. And then the name of the show, I Googled it, kind of like you're studying for a test or something. I Googled it. It was a book. And I drove to the audiobook for like a month. It's a crazy story, right?
Yeah, tell me the story.
Okay, so, and shout out to the author. She's a Rico Nasty fan. She didn't even know I was going to be in the show. I just got casted, but she's a fan. Shout out to Ruby Thorpe. And if you want to read this book, Elle Fanning is like doing the voice on audiobook, and it's kind of like, it's fire. I like driving to audiobooks. Shout out to audiobooks. Basically, it's about a girl. She's in college. She gets pregnant by her professor, and she starts doing OnlyFans because obviously she needs to make some money because she's pregnant. She's having a baby, and obviously, since she's doing OnlyFans, her child's father, who ironically is her professor, is judging what she's deciding to do with her life. So I think she like drops out of college and she's just doing OnlyFans full time. And like it has like a wrestling aspect to it. Her stepdad, like, or real dad, I don't know, but he is like a wrestler, and there's like a lot of cool like elements of like rock and roll and like just like cool fashion moments and stuff like that. But
and you're acting opposite Elle Fanning a lot of the times, right? Or with her in some scenes?
I'm actually like her friend in the show. like where I
What's
guess.
that? It's got to be cool, right? She's like great,
Yeah.
I think.
No, she's amazing. I
Yeah.
learn from her every take. Every time she does something, I'm like, write that down, chat. Write that down. I love her.
And you're still filming, so there's a possibility you'll be filming with Nicole and Michelle coming up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I try not to like think. I feel like if I think about it too much, especially my connection with Elle prior to actually meeting her, but just like being a fan of her sister, it's like sometimes it does give you
Trips
anxiety.
you out a
It
little
trips
bit.
you out to
Yeah.
be that close to someone who you basically watched your whole life, but they don't even know you. So you're like trying not to ask a bunch of questions. You're like, okay, just be chill.
But as your first acting gig with A24 and all these big stars, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, pretty amazing. But again, like the cast they're so cool and so chill about it. Like nobody acts like anything, which helps you to not be fucking weird
Yeah.
and just be like super chill. And yeah.
So you think you'll do more of it? There'll be more acting in your future after this?
Yeah, I definitely want to do more acting. I love being on set. I didn't know. I mean, I always knew I loved being in front of a camera, but I didn't know that I was gonna like it like the way that I do. It's very fun.
And we don't know when this is coming out. Probably 2026, I would imagine,
Yeah,
right?
it's 2026.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we do these really fun things at the end of the show. We go like your top 5, right? And we love to get into these lists, Rico. So I want to talk about food for a second because I know you mentioned food. And we always talk about food. Do you have like a top 5 restaurants that you like when you're in New York that you frequent a lot? We could go Maryland, but I feel like our listeners might know New York better.
Okay, let's see. New York. Empanada Mama.
Okay. I haven't been there, but that's
Empanada Mama, Empanada Mama, Empanada Mama, Empanada Mama, Empanada Mama. That bitch open all night. I get the cheeseburger empanada, or I get one of those like real savory meals that they got with like the beef and the potatoes and the carrots and the rice and the beans. Like that's my shit.
Amazing. Well,
Or
that's
pizza.
one. We got 4 more to go.
Okay. Mama Empanada pizza from anywhere, but it has to be real New York pizza. Not that other shit. Not like, what's their name? Don't hate me. Not like Prince Street pizza. Like I
like Prince
and
Street.
I love Prince Street.
Yeah.
And I like I'm such a fake bitch. I said not like Prince Street, but I do like them though. What's the vodka? The spicy vodka?
Yeah, I love that.
I'll fuck with them. They're good, but not that style. I want the big ass triangle that's like bigger than my head.
Right. Well, you don't want like the $1.99 slice. You want.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I do.
So-
That's the exact. What? That is the slice. Like, send me to that place. I need my pizza to be $2.50.
So there's no place in particular. You go to any place.
I'll go to any place. I need the man to be a little bit rude. Not rude, but like real nonchalant. Like he don't even acknowledge that I just bought the pizza. He's just like, take the money.
Right.
Take it. I damn near could have stole a soda out this motherfucker. He is not looking. Like he don't care. And if the pizza not served like that, I really don't want it. I don't want like my pizza served in like, I don't want like fucking spinach, like fucking garnished on my pizza. I want cheese pizza. Parmesan cheese sprinkled on the top. Maybe a little bit of peppers.
No fancy pizza for Rico.
No fancy pizza. I don't even like pepperoni on my pizza.
Really? Well, I'm not a big pepperoni person either. So yeah, well, not really. I don't love it either. So I get it.
But I do like pineapples on it.
Yeah, I got well, that's sort of sacrilegious, but
I know.
yeah, it's okay. It's your pizza. You can eat it any way you want. What about number 3? Is there a number? Was that 1 and 2? I don't even know what numbers we're on at this point. Maybe we're going in reverse. We could have gone 5 and 4.
I'm trying to think. I guess my 5 and 4, my last 2 would be.
Was that 1 and 2? Is it like 1 is
Pizza,
empanada?
Empanada Mama.
And number 2 is pizza. From anywhere.
Pizza.
Number 3 is.
Oh yeah, this is crazy, but at the Virgin Hotel, they have a bar there, and they have like olive hummus and French fries and bread, and it's so good. And I get it when I'm in New York. I'll go there just for that.
So it's like bar snacks. That's that's interesting.
And New York has really good Chinese food.
Yeah, you also love seafood because we didn't even touch base on how. Right?
I do love seafood.
I feel like isn't there a seafood place somewhere in this mix here? Maybe
not in New York, but back home in Maryland, there's like seafood spots that I fuck with. Like there's this one called literally Cameron's, and then there's one called Homeboys, and then there's one called Crab Boss. And I mean, you can go down to like, it's this area called like the Wharf.
Sure.
And they have like a bunch of like seafood and cool like restaurants down there. So Yeah, DMV is really big for
Yeah.
seafood. And that's why I should. Like, I love seafood. I really do. But I moved to LA again. I moved to LA. So now I'm like a sushi girl.
All right. Okay.
I'm not a seafood boil crab leg girl anymore. I'm like,
so are we going to put sushi on this list? And is there a spot that you go? Because I like Sushi Fumi in LA. I don't know if you've been there. That's my place.
No, I've been to like, okay, I have to try that.
Yeah, it's great. The best.
I like Kazunori, Sushi Enya. I like, I'm trying to think of like another.
There's like a list of 20 at this point, but we're just going for it.
Nobu, but
yeah.
So like, boom, Nobu. Right. She likes Nobu, guys. Oh my God, the $20 Wagyu taco this big. That's crazy that the taco's that big. Was so good.
I like Nobu. No shame in mention. It's expensive, but food's still great.
I love Nobu, and I'm always gonna drop a bag in Nobu, and I really don't care what no booty got to say about it.
I don't even know what number I want. Is there one more left that we can, or are we have 18 already?
Oh my God, I want to give a special shout out to a place, but if they find it, I'll be pissed. Someone already gave them a shout out, but this is like the best breakfast spot in LA. I'm gonna let the LA motherfuckers figure it out because they gonna know what I'm talking about. But it's the best breakfast in LA. And if you work there, you already know. Like, I'm there.
Can you give me a hint? Because I'm already looking for your Finsta. So
something wood.
Something wood.
And I'm not gonna tell y'all what the first half is.
Okay, I don't even know how.
You know what it is?
I don't think anyone knows.
You don't know what it is?
Okay, I don't know what it is.
It's how many letters is in this? I can't tell you that. But you can see the Hollywood sign when you're going to the restaurant.
Something wood.
It's a cafe. It's a cafe kind of, but it's not. It's
I think I know. Is it in a canyon? Maybe. Is it in a canyon? Okay.
4 letters.
4 letters and wood.
Yeah, 4 letters and wood.
Okay.
4 letters, 5 letters and wood.
Well, if you guys figure it out, we got tickets for Rico Nasty.
Yes. It's in a canyon. It should be in the
I said it's in the canyon.
Is it in the canyon? I mean, it's by... Oh, brother. Yeah. It's in his songs? It's in his music video.
How about this? If someone
Styles.
figures it out, they get tickets to go see Rico Nasty.
Oh my God, yes. If you can comment this restaurant that I'm talking about, it's not a restaurant, it's a cafe.
It's a cafe.
Gotta specify that, because if you go looking, it's gonna say cafe. Gotta specify that. 5 letters, cafe, ends with wood in LA. What am I talking about? You can get tickets to come see me.
Exactly. I just made that executive call, but I didn't know I had authority to do it. But for the purpose
did it,
of,
and I'm what's it called? I'm pressing the button. We can do that. Yep.
And last but not least, Rico, your top 5 musicians who inspire you today, no matter the genre.
I have to ask while I'm answering this. Is that really Kendrick Lamar's K?
Yes.
Oh my God. What the fuck? Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can bring it to you.
All right,
There you go.
Kendrick Lamar. Every time I drive past a minivan, that's like driving crazy. I'd be like, Kendrick, get out of my fucking way. I love Kendrick Lamar.
So he's in that top 5 for you?
No, he's not in my top. I mean, he is a great fucking, come on now, but don't do me like, they gonna get me. Kendrick Lamar is an amazing fucking rapper.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know how many rappers I have in my top 5 though.
Well, it could just be musicians who inspire you today. It doesn't matter the genre.
Yeah, right? Okay. Genreless, and they've inspired me like... inspired me. Do I love Kendrick Lamar? Does he inspire people? Of course. Let me clear this up for y'all. Clear me up, bitch, before I vanish. For y'all be like, bitch, she's done. All right, hold the fuck up. Because it said, damn, and now Kendrick Lamar is looking at me like, damn, I'm not your favorite rapper. And I feel so crazy right now. Okay. I'm literally getting hot, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
I think my favorite rapper.
This is number 1?
This is number 1. My favorite rapper.
Who inspires you today?
Who inspires me today.
We're on the edge of our seats.
It's Lil B. I love Lil B.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all.
And why?
See, I'm not basing this on lyricism at all. So you could take me out of the Kendrick shit. This is just based on like somebody who just does shit every day. And I'm like, damn, like this nigga don't care. I love people that just don't give a fuck. Like, he don't care. He doesn't. And I just love it. And I think that was from a very early age. I'm like, why don't he care? Like, he don't care to rap on beat. He don't care to pick a good beat. He don't care. This nigga don't care. He doesn't care. And he's doing what he wants to do. And I think that's very very commendable. So
breaking the rules.
That inspires me. I love people that do shit that like they don't care about the reaction. They don't care if it go platinum. They don't care. They're just doing it.
Well, people say that you're breaking the rules, so that makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like another person who inspires me a lot is Tyler the Creator. I really love how he has so many different compartments in what he does, and I like the way he executes it. I like the way he speaks for himself and speaks up about himself and his past and acknowledges certain things, and like he's funny, like his personality.
He inspired your first Instagram name.
He did. He inspired my first Instagram, my first original SoundCloud name. He inspired the reason why I go so hard with my merch. He inspired the reason why I had merch being sold in Hot Topic. Like, that was the first place I had bought his merch. So I remember, like, when they offered me, like, do you want to be sold there? I'm like, of course. So that inspired me. The merch, half of it. It's so weird because, honestly, a lot of the people I'm about to name, I'm not inspired by them musically in any way. It's really just the way that they do things. Rihanna is next. I love the way
that could be your number one, right?
She might as well be.
Yeah.
She's probably the only girl in there. She should be number one for sure.
Yeah.
I love her. I love the way, again, different pockets of revenue, different things that she does. The way she speaks for herself, the way she stands up for herself, protects her peace. You see her, you don't know her. Love that.
We still got two more.
Two more. An artist that inspires.
Musicians who inspire you today, no matter the genre.
Okay, I'm going to go with Joan Jett. And I want to put, can we do like, I'll just do Joan Jett, I guess.
Who are you going to put her with?
I was going to put her with like another rock star, and purely because I see that they're still doing tours. And a lot of people that they came up with aren't in the best shape to be able to do that. And I think it's iconic that they probably learned somewhere along the lines, like, I should
stop or slow down or something.
Slow down.
Yeah.
And I love that. Joan Jett talks about how it's hard for her to quit smoking. I love her.
She's an icon.
She's an icon.
Yeah. We got two more to go.
Okay. And I said only one girl. So, and then I put Joan Jett. Joan Jett and Brie are like my two. I love them so much. Okay. Who is last on this list? You know what's so funny? I guess when we're talking male rappers, I'm going to say Young Thug. Young Thug, because I've always liked the wordplay. I haven't mentioned that for anybody else. I love his wordplay. I love his ability to make you like laugh, but being dead ass serious. I love when people are deadpan. Yeah. They mean what they're saying, but it's like in his music, he'll kind of like skirt past it. Like if you're not listening, you're gonna miss it. And I love that. I love music where it's like if you're not listening, bro, you're gonna miss it. You're not gonna like fully hear it. Love his beat selection. Love all of the artists that have come from him. It's like he's like a tree, father tree.
Yeah.
With all the branches. You can't name an artist who hasn't been inspired by Thug. And I really also love his sense of fashion and him pushing the boundaries with gender very early on in his career when people were like, what? And he was doing it and obviously made it cool for people to do today. And I love that about him because I definitely do think that I might have been inspired by that as well. Just like being a female and being like, wait, I want to be masculine. I want to rap masculine and I want to dress more masculine, but still be sexy and still be myself. And I feel like he kind of like does all of that. Like he makes pretty bitch music. He makes like scary music. He makes hood music. He makes vibes, pop records. You can't really pigeonhole Young Thug and you never know what you're gonna get from him, and you never know who's gonna collab with. Yeah. Like his Elton John collab. Yeah. I don't know, bro. He has sick. So much lore. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. And last but not least, I think there's one more musician who inspires you today.
Me.
You. Okay. You know what? You inspire yourself. If you don't inspire yourself, who should inspire you, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I like
me.
that. I like that.
Yes,
We'll
thank
put
you.
number 1 or number 5 at Rico Nasty. I don't know
Yeah.
what number that
I
is,
think
but
we're at number 6.
well, either way, the record drops any day now. By the time you hear this, it'll be out. So go
Yes.
stream it. Lethal. It's an incredible record. Check out the TV show, which I'm excited to see next year, 2026. I think 2026 feels like it's going to come out. You're still filming it, so I'm sure it'll come out around then. And then concerts coming up, tours coming up.
Concerts, tours, so much. I'm so funny because first thing that came in my head was concert because I'm gonna go see Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, there you go. He's right behind us if you want to see him.
I am a fan. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But yeah, I want to go see Kendrick in concert. But I am having my concert and my tour is gonna be insane, probably in the fall. I'm not gonna say too much.
Amazing.
But yes, I can't wait to be with my fans again and party with them. And I'm just excited for them to hear the rest of that. Like, I want to know how they feel about it. Like, do we need a deluxe? Do you guys hear a feature? Like, what are you guys hearing? Who do you guys want on it? I worked very hard on making it no features, but I think I did that purposely because I wanted to share it with the world, and they pick features very well. They'll be like, oh, I hear this person on it. And if that person sees that and they want to make their way downtown, then hell yeah, fucking right. But I definitely didn't want to kill the vibe of the album by like reaching out for features, and now they're prolonging my album, and I'm like, I'm not waiting on you. But once it's out, yeah, if you guys want to remix whatever, hit me. I'm happy for it to be out. Feels good to be back, bitches.
It's a great record and something for everyone. Lethal. It's out now, I guess, by the time you hear this. So we'll have to do a part 2 coming up soon.
Hell yeah. I'm so like, I'm so excited, guys. Yes, go stream it.
The levels are going, we'll figure it out.
Whoa.
Awesome, Rico. Thank you so much for coming by. This is a pleasure.
Thank you.
Awesome.